Hey, y'all. Hey. How y'all doing? Can y'all hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Okay, good. Good. Hey, everybody. I hope y'all are doing well. Thank you for being here tonight on a Sunday night. I'm not going to be before y'all long, but I want to go ahead and I wanted to go live because I've been getting so many questions lately about the lives that we've been doing, some of the content I've been putting out. And I want to make sure that we go over some of the things you could be doing at home right now, because a lot of you all are either still working. I know I have a lot of frontline workers that that really watch me and still listen to me in the midst of all that you all are doing. I'm still considered an essential worker. I get it. Thank God I have the choice to be able to be at home for a while. Also, some of you all are at home and stuck in the house with people that you feel are pretty unhealthy, and some of us might be quite unhealthy, because I think it's a checkmate for us too. So what's up, y'all? What's up? Philly in the house, Cali in the house. What's up? So let's go ahead and get to the business, everybody. Let's get to the business. And while I'm playing my intro, go ahead and roll through and let us know where you're from. All right, y'all. Let's get it. All right, y'all. So we done played the intro. We good and ready to go. So look, I'm gonna go through some of this roll call. We got North Carolina, Michigan, Florida. We got Suffolk, Virginia, St. Louis. What up, St. Louis? You know, that's one of my home places. Thank you. Knoxville, Barbados is in the house. Aiken, South Carolina. We got Jamaica. We got Jersey, New Orleans, Oklahoma, Maryland, Alabama. West Tennessee in the house. What up, West Tennessee? We got Florence, South Carolina. We got Houston, Texas, Kansas City, Jamaica, dang, Pacific Islands, New Guinea, Ghana, Uganda, Arizona, Pittsburgh, Louisiana, Hopewell, St. Lucia. Y'all, we all over. We all over the world. Not just like all over the country. We all over the world in this thing. Austin, Texas, Woodbridge, Virginia, Orlando, Austin. Dang, Trinidad. What up, Trinidad? London is in the house. What up, London, England? Y'all be really making me feel good. London really does represent. I've been having a lot of people from Ireland too, and India lately. So thank you so much for the support, Bakersfield. Everybody at home. Somebody said because everybody at home. Yeah, but y'all could have been doing anything, but y'all still spending time with me. So I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Detroit, that's where my bae is from. And he said, what up, though? Of course, he told me to say all his Detroit players from the D. What's up? East St. Louis in the house, right over the bridge from where I'm from St. Louis and Memphis. Also Colorado, Ohio, Mama Africa. All right. Washington, Cleveland. You know, I got to go through these because I need to make sure that I say thank you so much. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you all. And I really do mean it. I appreciate you all so much that I've had to start keeping track of the love with the graphics and keep the love coming in, because I do read these comments. And something else I want to show y'all. Boom, y'all. Look, we have made it to 970,000 followers on YouTube. 970,000, y'all. In the last 28 days, we've got upwards of 30,000 new followers. Now, I want to tell y'all something. Your girl don't pay for nan follower. Not one. Okay. So all of these are organic followers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's one thing to believe in yourself, but it's amazing when your sisters and brothers support you and they believe in you as well. And I can only say that I feel privileged to have you all support and privileged to have you all care about the work and the content and the things that I put out. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for that. And I care a lot about you all. And I want to say thank you so much. Somebody over here counting, KL Amore says 971,000 to be exact. Thank you, honey. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you all. And I want you to know that if it wasn't for you all believing in the brand and believing in me, I probably would not be here. I know I wouldn't be here because many of you all have sent me quiet comments. You all have sent me quiet emails, letters, things like that, and let me know what has helped you, what you would like to see more of, and where, you know, you're really involved in the future of this brand. And so I really cannot be any more grateful. I'm so grateful for you guys, and I want you to know that. And that's why I'm so honest on this channel. That's why I'm so honest with my following, because I appreciate each and every one of you all. I will never be able to get to know each and every one of you all, but somehow I feel like you're my friends in my head. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all out in public, and a lot of you all be like, oh my God, you're really nice in public. And oh my God, you actually look like yourself in public. So thank you so much. And I thank you for the love, the caring, the support. All of it makes a difference. And while you're here, make sure that you click like. Clicking like, make sure that everybody else gets to see it. If you enjoy it, it lets everybody else know. It costs you nothing to click like, y'all. It's absolutely free, 100% free. It just allows the video to travel more and for others to learn from it. Also share it. It's free to share. I know some of you all are on Facebook here and some of you all are on YouTube. Make sure that you share it, because tonight it's going down. We talking about some real ish. Do you hear me? We about to have some fun. Something else. Thank you, Soros. Okay. She said the Soros here where I live. Thank you so much, Nicolette, for making sure that they know. I appreciate you all. I really do appreciate you. And I don't mean that. I don't take that lightly. I don't mean to say that lightly is what I'm saying. I take you very seriously. Thank you so much. Another thing I wanted to remind you guys of is, if you're looking for some free motivation and inspiration, go ahead and go to the links down below in the information section and sign up for my free 8-day supernatural video course. It's going to give you information to keep you living your best life. And if you're not living your best life, give you tips on it from yours truly. And I ain't just somebody out here trying to sell you a drink and a smile or whatever, a coconut smile or whatever. You know, you're getting it from a reputable source who is researched, who is making sure that I steadfast in my messaging. Something else that's important, because you all like to hear of some of the wins that are coming out of these things. I have been called upon by New York State Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. I will be speaking virtually to their bureau-wide award ceremony this summer to some of their healthcare workers, and giving them some tips on self-love and some things that they can do to really take care of themselves during this time, because I know that they're so focused on patients and clients and people and need the love at this time. So thank God for this platform allowing me to get other opportunities to help others and to do more. So again, guys, as you're entering into the room, make sure you click like. We're going to get on into this conversation. I'm not going to prolong it any longer. I can say thank you and love you all day, but just click like. It's absolutely free. It costs you nothing. And it also makes sure that others get to share in the love, come in and discuss with us. And I want to thank you guys for that up front. So let's get into it. The reason why I'm doing this video is because so many of you all have hit me with messages asking me, thank you, China White, thank you so much, have hit me with messages asking me to do a video on how to deal with these toxic people. Many of you all refer to them as narcissists and refer to them as people who have mental health issues. And some of you all have spotted some issues within yourself, especially when going through this type of time where it's stressful and where we're dealing with a lot on our own outside of the people that are around us. But some of us are forced into positions right now where we have to be around people. We have to be around people. We have to listen to people. We have to share our space with people. And some of us are still at work. Okay. Some of us are still at work and trying to make sure that we are abiding by the rules, staying safe, and not being so overly anxious, which is an understatement at this point because all of us are trying to stay safe 100% and take care of ourselves and our health and our family. So many of you all have written me, and rightfully so, to ask about that. So yeah, Sheila, okay, wash your hands. Wash your hands. Thank you, honey, reminding us of things that we need to do. So I want to make sure I go through the things that you all might be seeing, but I also want to talk about the flip side of that. How can you take care of yourself? And if you're engaging in some of these behaviors yourself, you also need to check yourself and figure out why. And also center yourself at this time, because a lot of us are anxious. We might be hitting a point of depression or light depression at this point. Believe me, I understand many of us are stuck in the house, are not used to that. We're used to being able to do the things we want. Some of us have lost our jobs. Some of us have lost access to the things that we love, the people that we love. I keep thinking to myself, when am I going to get to see my mother physically? It's wonderful to see her by camera or talk to her on the phone, but I want to see her physically, right? So all of us are thinking about a lot of different things at this time. And I want to make sure that we can really think about them in a safe place. So some of the things that are important to look at, if you're in the house right now, some of us might be seeing something we call triangulation. As Dr. Nina, as a psychologist, triangulation, I just explained it to you in layman's terms, just some terms that are real simple, is that a lot of times, you know, people who are unhealthy will try to support their cause with other people around. So if you're arguing with them, they'll find somebody else in the house, somebody else at the workplace, somebody else wherever you all are or whoever's involved to support them in whatever logic that they have, in order for you to feel ganged up on, to make sure that you believe that you're the one who's messed up or has a problem. You might be engaging in this too, so watch yourself. It actually has a term, triangulation, and it is a way to manipulate people into doing what you want them to do, okay? So that's one thing. All right, Keisha, congrats with the BA in psychology, all right? Also, Kayla Moore, I understand the skyrocketing of the freaking anxiety is unreal. The next thing is devaluing, and many of us may understand devaluing. We've probably heard the term devaluation when it comes to like your car, when it comes to your house, things like that. But basically, what a person who's manipulating you or causing issues with you, or maybe even emotionally abusing you, physically abusing you, might do is make you feel like less than, right? Even the very things they used to celebrate about you and said were wonderful, they're not anything anymore. They're nothing but dust. And you're absolutely miserable to be around. You're not a great person. No matter what you say, it's wrong. No matter what you do, it's annoying. They just cannot stomach you at this point. So really, they put you in a position where you're trying to get your value up. They trick you into believing that your value is so far down that you need to impress them. So you'll spend most of your time trying to do that, explaining your cause, explaining why you are a good person, explaining why you should be respected, even if they never will. And what I want you to realize is some people that have mental illness or are narcissists or have serious issues may not ever reach that point where they do actually see you as valuable. It doesn't mean that you're not. It just means that maybe this is just a game that they play and you just don't need to continue to play into that. You should never be explaining yourself. And in this situation, if you're experiencing that, I say don't go back and forth with the person about your worth. We're kind of stuck where we are right now. That's the horrible part about this situation. So if you're dealing with this person, it's kind of hard to get away. But I wouldn't go back and forth with them. Save yourself some tears, some time, and also make sure that you are giving yourself the best comforts possible. And arguing with this person about your worth is not going to make your worth and value go up to them. they're going to be feeling like they're validated in their claim because you're continually trying to impress them. Arguing with them makes them feel like you're trying to impress them. You're trying to make them see why you're so valuable. Okay. So that's not something that you should be doing. All right. Am I buffering for everybody, or is that just Mia? Let me know, guys. Let me know. We just getting started, Natisha. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yeah. So make sure that you guys keep that in mind. Please keep that in mind. Okay. Thank you so much, boo. Psychiatrist in the house. Thank you. Okay. So it's important that you all realize that and understand that. It's a big important thing to recognize. The next thing I'm going to tell you is to watch out for aggression. Right now, we're stuck in the house with each other. Some of us are stuck at our jobs with each other, and we're stressed. Okay. So you might see some people using more aggression. And what I want you to realize is sometimes when we hear aggression, we think it's always physical. And aggression is not always physical. A person doesn't always have to touch your person to be aggressive. Okay. I want you all to understand that. Stomach that, take that in. Just because a person isn't touching you does not mean it's not abusive. And it doesn't mean that it's not something that can be harmful to you. Somehow we have internalized the fact that if someone's not beating me, then it's okay. That's not true. And don't ever allow somebody to sell you that logic. Okay. I once had somebody tell me, why are you so bothered? It's not like I'm beating you. And that was when that whole relationship ended, and it was quick. Because of something that was harming me. You know, if someone's doing something that is completely harming you and you're not being overly sensitive in the situation, it really is a problem. They shouldn't want to do it if they care about you, right? They shouldn't want to do it. So that's something to make sure that you all understand even more about. So China White said, order her book on Amazon. Thank you so much about that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Also, make sure that you don't buy that, guys, because a lot of times, and I hate to say that, especially in dating relationships, when somebody is hurtful to you and you call them out sometimes, because they may not see it as important to you, especially if you're not overreacting, they will make you feel that way. And that's aggression in itself, because you're going to continue to do what I don't like regardless. Even if it's harming me and it's clear that it's harming me and there is a fact that it is harming me, that is important. So make sure that you watch out for that. So something that is also aggressive, something else to think about that's aggressive, because I said physical is not always just the way that people treat you. It's also the way that they approach you. So intimidating you or making you feel afraid is aggression. Okay. Threatening you is aggression. Using degenerating, couldn't even get that. Denigrating language. Sorry, guys, couldn't get that out. Denigrating language or making you feel as less than or talking you down is also aggressive. Withholding emotional, physical, or financial support is aggressive. Also, controlling your access to friends and family, which lots of us are isolated at this point. And if that person is really going out of their way to keep you away from from your family or anyone you love, that's a problem. The other thing is controlling your behavior or attempting to, and also pressuring you to do things that you don't want to do. Now, it might seem far-fetched to call anyone for help right now, but if you're fearful of your safety, or you think that something is going on, make sure that you call 1-800-799-7233. Yes, I do have the number, 1-800-799-7233, or the hotline.org, and that's domestic violence national line. And I know they're getting blown up right now, but guys, whatever you got to do to keep yourself safe, okay, is important right now. And I know we're going through a pandemic, but we still got to be safe in other ways. So if you cannot put up with what's happening right now, you deserve the right to take care of yourself. So the next thing is shaming, okay? Shaming. Woo! Okay. People you love will often use shaming. And some of us don't even know that we're using shaming tactics with people. We don't even realize it. And some of us have been responsible for shaming others. Okay. But it is a way to manipulate and it is a way to control. And the way that that's done is making people feel less valuable. Is one way to manipulate you. If you can feel more ashamed about your appearance, your lack of education, your social class, then you could be making them feel better in comparison. So that's the way that they boost their own self. The way that they boost their own cause is to make you feel worse about your own. Even if it's not something that should necessarily be called out, even if it's not something that should, necessarily be, you should necessarily be ashamed of. It's important for you to realize that sometimes shaming tactics are used just to put you back in your place, especially when someone else is feeling insecure or when they feel a little bit threatened by your presence. And right now, many of us, again, are stuck in homes with people that we haven't had to be with 100% of the time. And right now, we're waking up to them. We're going to sleep to them. We're eating dinner with them. We're having breakfast with them. I mean, it can be quite annoying. And so sometimes those shaming tactics are used. And also, let's also give a credence to the fact that a lot of us have a lot of time to sit around and think about things that we haven't thought about in the past. And so now they're bringing up old stuff. They might be dredging up thoughts and memories and things that you ain't never heard before. And you might be doing the same thing. But don't get into that game of going back and forth about all of these different things and allowing them to shame you for who you are, what you are, and where you've gone. You know, if it's something that y'all are going to talk about and it's going to elevate your person or elevate you as a person or elevate you in this world and continue to help you work on yourself effectively with constructive criticism, that's one thing. But shaming is a whole nother thing. And it's meant to make you feel bad, not constructive criticism. It's two different things. Okay. The next thing is playing victim. Now I'm going to look over here. How many of y'all have either played victim or dealt with a person that played victim? I'm going to look and see. I'm going to look and see how many of you all have played victim or have dealt with someone who plays the victim. Okay. Yes. Veronica, you're right. It's putting you down in front of other people. Yes, I think we've all either played victim or been around someone that plays victim all the time. And for those of you all that don't know what that is, playing victim is basically where I can't win with you. That's the attitude. I can't win with you. I can't deal with you. Everything that I do is wrong. Woe is me. It's like everything is when it's not. So it's one thing to have someone actually be shaming you or harming you or talking down to you and you addressing that, that's one thing. Or if you feel that way. But if a person is not doing that and you just come out of nowhere and you're like, oh, I just can't do anything with you. I can't, just because you ask them to wash a dish, you know, because they don't wash the dishes or they don't clean up their space and they're like, I can't do anything right. That's them trying to get out of that. Okay. That's pretty darn toxic, right? And it's kind of funny, but it's not funny when you're stuck in the house with them. Let me just be real. Okay. So make sure that you all understand that. It's playing victim is done way more than we would like to admit. A lot of us do it. I've had to check myself sometimes, like, am I the victim in this situation or am I perpetuating this situation? I think it's something that all of us have to think about. But this person or the person who's usually toxic in a situation, they're not even going to have that ability to look at that. They're not going to want to, because guess what? To them, they're absolutely right. And no matter what you say, they're right. Okay. No matter what you do, they're right. And you can expect that that's how they're going to run their game, is that they're right and you just can't understand it and you can't see it. So they'll continue to play like you've done something wrong to them at all times. Okay. So make sure of it, okay? And thank you so much. Thank you so much for China. China is out here working, y'all. Make sure that you all listen to her. She knows the plugin. She knows it. So make sure that you all click like. It costs you nothing. It's absolutely free to click like. Okay, guys? If you're enjoying this stream. The next thing is inappropriate behaviors. So one thing is right now, while we're stuck in the house, when we say inappropriate behaviors, someone talking to you in a way that's too sexually explicit, they're trying to get you to engage in things that are not necessarily up your alley, and they know that. They're trying to take advantage of you. They're, walking around inappropriately, doing things that they have no business doing. They are really violating everyone. Right now, one of the only places that we have that's private in the house with lots of people is the bathroom. And some people just walking in on people in the bathroom. Okay, that's inappropriate. So when I say inappropriate, like talking down, using language that's inappropriate, being overly sexually explicit, invading what little privacy you have, all of those different things need to be, concerning to you. You need to really consider them and think about how they're affecting you and if this person is violating you. And the way that you deal with that is by calmly and quietly, because sometimes I have to make sure that I've stated things clearly. State your boundaries. Say what they are. Say why they are, and leave it there. And make it clear that there are repercussions to violating your boundaries. As long as they are not physically or mentally harmful, you make sure that you let them know, I will not be engaging in this, or X, Y, and Z will happen. Okay. So you need to make sure that you're not making empty threats, that you're not saying anything you're not willing to follow through on, but that you're being absolutely clear about this situation. And even if the repercussions don't come until after we're able to leave the house, I would be clear about that. Like, I'm not going to engage in this. And after I'm able to go to somewhere more stable, this will be done. Just making sure, and you don't have to get extra. You don't have to get loud about it. You don't have to curse them out. Just be very clear and set what you're saying and stick with it. That's how you set a clear boundary. I hope y'all are understanding that. Yes. And B. Howard says it best. B. Howard says, yes, state your boundaries and let individuals know their behavior is inappropriate. Sometimes what happens is we react to the behavior as opposed to saying things that could possibly correct the behavior. We don't want to just react. We want to make sure that we are speaking clearly. We're stating where we start and where we end, and being very clear about the boundary involved. Sometimes people are confused on how to treat us because we're confused on how we want others to treat us. Hopefully that made sense and that registered. But sometimes we're very unclear about how people should treat us. And if we're constantly like, oh, that's okay, oh, that's fine, knowing that we feel uncomfortable, then they're going to continue to habitually line step. And I'm sure y'all have heard that. Habitual line steppers are people who just continually violate the code because you've allowed them to do it. Okay. So you need to make sure that you don't allow that to continue to happen. So I'm trying to give solutions as I give the problem. So I'm going to make sure I go back to some of you guys' questions here soon. Monopolizing conversations. That's another one. And that one's self-explanatory, but basically this person takes over the conversation and can only speak about themselves. They cannot reflect on anything else. They interrupt you. They don't ever want to hear what you got to say about anything. They literally just monopolize. Now, if you're in a place where you're in tight quarters and you have your own little space to go to, whether that be a closet, a bathroom, or something else, in those situations, I advise not going back and forth with the person, but possibly stating clearly, I am going to exit this conversation at this time. I think we should take this up at another time when both of us are more calm. I'm going to step away from the situation and maybe go sit in a place where you can be alone for a second before you revisit the conversation, because what toxic people will do is get you into this talk and this brawl that will cause you to constantly double guess yourself, and you'll forget what you're arguing about, and you'll be all over the place trying to figure out what the argument is actually about, what you did wrong, who did what, and then all of a sudden you're the one addressing a problem and you're the one apologizing. Okay. That's why you don't get into the conversations where you're constantly I say talking jacked. Is not healthy. It's not good. And when we're interrupted in our thought processes, it probably hinders. A lot of times, it does not probably. It hinders our conversation and hinders where our points were. You know, some of us are not blessed to stay on point if we're interrupted, and some people know that. So you have to make sure that you keep up with that. So the next thing is projecting, and whatever you say that they're doing, and this can involve a narcissist. This can just involve Bella. Stop. That's not okay. She's over here scratching the carpet, y'all. But basically, whatever you say, whatever you do, they'll turn it back around on you. So if you catch them texting some other person that they have no business texting, they'll say, well, I saw your phone and I think you've been doing it too. You know, they're projecting everything you're confronting them about back on you because they know they're guilty. So they're trying to take the hot seat off of them and put it back on you. Okay. That one's pretty self-explanatory. The next thing is brainwashing. Oh, and what would I do if someone's projecting on me? I would call it out and say, right now, we're not talking about me. I'm just giving an example based on the one I gave you guys. Right now, we're not talking about me. And I have not done that, but we can prove that you've done what you've done because we can prove it because we've seen it. So right now you're trying to argue something that does not exist. What you've done is fact. Okay. So we're going to start from there. We're not going to go into this whole cloudy situation of what you said I did, but have not done. Okay. You have to attack it head on and don't get caught up in the fluff, because if you get caught up into arguing something that you didn't do, then you're farther away from solving the issue, which is something that they did. Okay. Hopefully that helps you all there. The next thing is brainwashing. Okay. And you're, oh my goodness, hold on, y'all. I have to say thank you. Thank you, Akimi, for the lovely donation of $10. I appreciate you. So sweet and so kind, y'all. No dollar goes unnoticed or unused for the right and willing thing. So thank you so much for supporting the cause. I appreciate you. So I wanted to say that. But yes, guys, this is important. This is important. Making sure you use your right to say that. The next thing is brainwashing. And brainwashing, we think that brainwashing only happens in cults and with, ridiculous tactics to get us to do certain things, but it's really quite simple and it's really quite small. But it's when you end up doing things that you're not comfortable doing or that you said you weren't comfortable doing before. Remember when I said you set your boundaries, you make them plain and you don't move off of them. You show better than you can tell. You do what you're supposed to do. You do what you say you're going to do, not say it and make it an empty threat. Okay. Brainwashing can be as little as setting boundaries from the beginning. And then all of a sudden you're letting this person say to you that you should be doing something. And all of a sudden you're going to another place. You need to set your boundaries, make them plain, unless there's a call for changing. If there's a call for changing up, if it's not a call for changing up and it's just for their greater good, you should not be doing it. Okay. And that is a form of brainwashing. So they use a ploy out of spite to get you to obey what they want you to do. Basically, they will go every which way to make you do it. And what I would do is remind them of that boundary in that situation. I would remind them of that boundary without having to scream, without having to holler, without having to fuss. Let them know when it was discussed. And tell them, this is why I'm not moving forward from this. This is what I'm doing. And this is what I've said from the beginning. Thank you very much. I will not continue to discuss this. That's it. Okay. And I Sierra asked how she can write into for video. I definitely look at everything under my under this information. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I missed this. My goodness. Our shots. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate you. Y'all, $50. Thank you. I appreciate you 100%. again, going towards all the greater good of the brand and everything that's coming up. So thank you so much for that. Wow, thank you. Y'all are so supportive, so amazing. Thank you. But the thing I'm going to say is to make sure that you guys are also just making sure you don't get mixed up in the fluff. State your concerns, state what you're saying, and make it plain. Someone asked, how do you all turn in video requests and ideas? Hi at drninaellishervey.com. I read them. I might not be able to respond to everything, but I usually do get around to answering them in my email newsletter, which you can sign up for absolutely free by joining my free 8-day supernatural video program, and also through my YouTube channel. So make sure that you do that. But hi at drninaellishervey.com, which is my email. It's one of the best way to send in requests. And if you're on my email list, I always send out a link that allows you to put in video requests as well. So hopefully that helps. The next thing is gaslighting. Y'all know I done had a whole, y'all see my head just tilted all the way back, but I've had a whole podcast on gaslighting. I've had a whole like 3 videos on gaslighting. Gaslighting is so important because it's used as a tactic more than we know, more than we will admit. Gaslighting, and I'm just going to read straight from here what it is, and this is from Power of Positivity. Gaslighting is an insidious tool used by psychopaths, sociopaths, and narcissists, and sometimes just people who are not well. Okay. This tactic makes you question your own sanity. For example, if you tell a narcissist or a person that you dislike what they said to you in front of your friends, they will deny it, offer proof that you are wrong, and assert that it never happened. No matter what proof you can provide to support your claim, they will insist that you are imagining things. Okay. Gaslighting is very simple. Okay. Unless it didn't happen, the person will try to focus on the wrong parts of the situation or try to throw you off from your claim by saying that you're absolutely wrong and maybe you're crazy because that's not what happened. Now, it's one thing to say that's not what they meant and that's not what they tried to do. Okay. That's different from saying that never happened. Because if I know some stuff happened, I got like a photographic memory. And when people do that, I'm shut down completely. Okay. So, somebody said it sounds like that idiot Trump. I didn't say it, you did. Okay. I'm going to say, yes, it does sound like, unfortunately, I don't get political over here, but it does sound like that because I feel like we see things and then we're told that's not what was said. And it's like, but we got video. We saw it. Okay. That's exactly what that is. Now, if someone is trying to gaslight you, what do you do? And I have like I said, I have a whole podcast on this. Make sure that you look down in the links below. Guys, I have all my podcasting platforms linked. I'm on Spotify, I'm on iTunes, I'm on everything. On every major podcasting platform that's down below for you. Also, that free 8-day supernatural video program is linked down below as well. So check that out. And my Amazon shop with all my favorite things is down there. But without that said, if someone is gaslighting you, what do you do? So if you're caught in that situation and you know what you saw was real, you know what they did was real, go back to fact. Don't argue fiction. Okay. Hear me out. Don't argue fiction. When I say that, when they start to do the fluff and mirrors, this is what I call it. Basically what happens is you start to get all of this, some people call it smoke and mirrors. I call it fluff and mirrors because you can't even see through it at all. Sometimes smoke you can see through, but the fluff that they put out, you can't see through it. Okay. It makes no sense. So this person, you'll be talking to them and you'll be like, yeah, I saw you talking to this person at the party and we agreed we're not going to be talking to that person. Not that it's a controlling situation, but you all hear me out. And you saw them clearly talking to this person. And they're like, well, no, what you saw was, I was just standing close to them and it might have looked like we were talking. No, I saw you talking and I'm not crazy. And so you don't even need to argue. What I would do in that situation is, I know I saw what I saw. I'm not going to be malicious and make that up. Okay. And I didn't make that up. You spoke with that person. And if you're not willing to admit it, remember that's what I saw And I'm not trying to be malicious in this situation. I'm merely stating fact as to what happened. So what I'm going to say right now is I'm addressing this situation, and I'm going to address what we discussed in the past about not speaking with this person. And you've chosen to. And I'm going to go back to the repercussions of that action. Okay. So you're not going to allow them to get you or pull you into an argument about fluff, which is that you're crazy because you didn't actually see them talking to anybody, which you know is not true. So what ends up happening is you get exhausted from arguing things that are not even involved in your original concern. So that's the part that you want to avoid. And if you need to sit out or have a time out, walk away and be on your own. Even if you're in the same room, sit in a corner and just don't speak at that time. And I'm not talking about icing them. Let them know very clearly, I'm not going to continue to discuss this because I'm getting angry and I need to calm down and I want to be clear in my communication. Excuse me. Okay. That should be fine. And they should allow you that time. And a narcissist probably will not. They'll probably continue to talk, but you refuse to talk because you've been very clear and you've also been very much kind in this situation by letting them know that you're exiting the conversation at least temporarily until they are willing to discuss it as adults. Okay. Hopefully that helps. Oh, y'all continue well, thank you. You are amazing. And thank you for doing what you do. Thank you so much, Fee Marlene. I appreciate you. Y'all are amazing. Thank you. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. And y'all know I don't come over here begging. But I'm thankful for every dollar. Thank you so much. I do appreciate you. And y'all know with this membership coming in May, we're thinking mid to late May, y'all. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to bring this to you guys, but we're going to keep on going. We got one more here. The next thing is verbal aggression. Now, remember I said that there's more than one way to be aggressive. And I named some of those things. I'm just so thankful to y'all. Thank y'all once again. I named some of those things, and this is really simple. It's yelling and using insulting language in another way. Is another way that these people, either a narcissist, a manipulative person, a toxic person, will use to manipulate you. So also one thing that they might do is start to bully you. Their volume gets way too loud to try to push you down or make you feel small. Also, they they also try to get you hyped or riled up so that they can say that you're the crazy one with this aggressive talk. So one thing that you should do in that position is to make sure that your voice stays at the same level. Reason being, and I think that that's good arguing tactic anyway, not because you're trying to be manipulative, but it's just a good way to check yourself, right? I know when I'm arguing with people and it gets heated, I like to try and get a little bit monotone. The reason for that is so that I'm watching my tone. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm heard and that I'm stating what I'm saying clearly and that I even understand what I'm saying, because sometimes you can get to arguing so much that you forget what you're saying, right? And you don't want that to happen. So if someone's going to be clear in communication, let it be you, at least. So just continue to keep your voice one place. If they continue to holler over you, scream over you, you say, okay, I'm just going to let you finish. Okay, keep going. And leave it be. And if you need to step away, you do. Because a lot of times that's a tactic to scare you out of getting to the root of the issue. And you have to realize that. And if you don't stay focused, you will be easily thrust out of your original point. And you don't want that to happen. So those are yeah. Oh, the Lady J. Hold on. The Lady J just asked something that's amazing to ask. Hold on. I just missed that. Here it is. I think this is a good question. That Lady J said, wow, that's so smooth. Do you really handle yourself like that in real life when your blood is starting to boil? Yes. I'm not going to say I don't get loud. I'm not going to say that. But usually that doesn't last very long before I'm like, hold on. Let's bring it back down. Even me, because I can recognize when I'm being a little disrespectful. Okay. So when I say that, I'm saying bring yourself back down where you know you will want someone to speak to you like. Okay. And so I've had to check myself, but I've gotten much better. Of course, I'm privileged to having some of the knowledge and the schooling and the information, but some of that goes out the window when you in your own emotional stance. But at the same time, something that I've learned is that it benefits you nothing to get super upset and possibly have a heart attack or a stroke. Okay. So if anything pulls me out of screaming, yelling, and hollering, is that I don't want to die of a stroke or a heart attack right now. Okay. I'm going to calm myself down and be civil. Okay. Now, does that mean I won't be straightforward and frank? No, that does not mean I won't. But it does mean I'm not going to be screaming my head off. It's just not worth it. Okay. So hopefully, hopefully that makes sense to you guys. Oh my, see, my goodness. Dr. Nina, always a pleasure to hear you. Love your health videos. Keep blessing us and a few more coins. Oh my God. Oh my God. Thank you. Thank you so much, y'all. And she's the psychiatrist in the room. Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I love sharing what I can. And definitely, or Shocks, I hope I'm saying your name right. Email me, hi@drninaellishurry.com. Would love to have you on the podcast. Thank you so much, love. I appreciate you 100%. She done threw down $100 up in here today. Thank you. Y'all done passed the offering plate. Okay. But guys, it is important to understand that people will try to throw you off your path with this. And so the reason why I'm doing this toxicity video is because I think it's overly used. And I saw somebody put that on a post that I asked about. That whole, narcissism, the whole toxic talk is overly used. But it's real. And so don't let people throw you off by saying it's overly used by validating their behaviors. Some of us know when toxic behaviors are occurring. If it doesn't feel good in your gut, it's usually not right. Let's just be honest. You don't have to be a psychologist, a psychiatrist, whatever, to know that. If it does not feel good in your gut and you respect your gut and you've normally been able to trust it, then it's usually not right. Okay. And most of us can tell you most of us can tell you that many of us that have been around, had issues, done things, is that a lot of times before we've done something, we knew it wasn't right. Even the relationships we've been in that we knew that we were excited about at one point, something in us was telling us it wasn't quite right. Okay. And so I think that that's something that we have to recognize. Does that give anybody the right to mistreat you? No, I'm not saying that, but I am saying a lot of us knew when it wasn't right for us. And we have to be able to admit that to ourselves. And that's a part of the healing process as well with these toxic relationships. So I'm going to take a few of your questions before I leave. Okay. Before I leave, because I've been in here for a while, but I'm going to take a few of your questions. So can I get a few? I'm going to answer at least 5 to 7 questions. Let me get a few of these questions. Come on, guys. Come on. Hey, hey, Miss Keegan. We've been in here. We've been in here doing the thing. What examples are, okay, this is a great one, Jakayla. What are examples of some good boundaries to set? I would say you can set monetary boundaries. Right now is the time for us to really be saving our coins and doing things that we need to. If somebody's asking you to be frivolous with your coins or not, asking you to do the things that are right for you right now, set boundaries with that. I'm not going to do that. And this is what I will do. Okay. The next thing, maybe another boundary to set at this time, is the way a person can and cannot speak with you. You can be very clear in that. If you're screaming and hollering and I cannot understand you, I will not attempt to speak back and forth with you. If we're going to have a conversation, let's do that. It's okay if it gets a little bit heated. It's okay if that happens. But when you're screaming, hollering, and demeaning me or cursing at me, I will not respond to that. That is a fine boundary to go through. Another thing is, I would say another one that's kind of common at this time is if you're finding that even when you try to go in your own corner, let's say you have your own room, you have your own place to be, and you're trying to get away from that situation and that person follows you just because they can, make it clear, I do not feel comfortable with this and I will not be engaging in that. So I ask that you stay in your own space when I walk away so that I can have my time to decompress. Another thing is if someone is asking you to do something that will risk your health at this time. We know the things that will risk our health. Like we know in Chicago, they just had 1,000-person party. Chicago. Okay. We know that happened. If somebody's asking you to do something like that, you say, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to engage in that. I'm going to do things that bring me my health and keep my health. I'm not going to be doing anything to risk it and possibly risking yours in the same, the same situation. So we want to make sure that we stay healthy. And I'm only going to do things right now that keep me healthy. Unless I need to do it, unless it's something that, can be safe, I'm not doing it. That's it. Point blank and period. Hopefully that helped you, Jakayla. Let's see here. I'm trying to see. I saw some questions come up. Okay. Janine, I hope I'm saying that correct. Janine Benson said, for friendships, what if they agree to the behavior? Okay. And they apologize for how they speak, but then they keep doing it on other occasions. You offer an ultimatum. I guess you're asking if I would offer an ultimatum. And in those cases, I would say I would remind that person of what they said that they would abide by very clearly and calmly. You do not need to get loud about it. What you need to do too is prepare yourself for the fact that some people are going to mess up, and that's human. But when they continue to habitually line step, that means that there's time to put a plan in action. Now, if it's a friendship, you can distance yourself. Okay. You don't have to be their friend, and you need to make that clear. I've asked that you don't do this. You continue to do this. The repercussion of that behavior is blank. I don't know what your repercussion is, but I think you should state it clearly. And it's after they've done it again, you need to stick with that repercussion. Okay. Hopefully that helps with that. I can't tell you exactly what to do, but hopefully that helps to make sense there. How do you handle it when you try to set the boundary of speaking with respect, but the other parent doesn't respect the boundary ever? And I saw another one I saw about being in a funk, and I want to go back to that. How do you handle it when you try to set the boundary of speaking with respect, but the other person, a parent, doesn't respect the boundary ever? I think in those situations, you should first try to speak with that person on their own if you can get them alone. I know it's pretty hard to get people by themselves right now in full homes, but talk to them behind the scenes and make sure they understand the game plan and make sure that they can repeat the game plan to you, and let them know that this is why we're doing it this way. Remember, we discussed this, bring it back to their remembrance. Don't scream, fuss, and holler. Again, because it's not going to be heard. You're not even going to hear yourself, and you're not going to benefit from it. Remember, a part of you staying calm is so that you hear that you're being clear as well. It's not just about the other person. So make sure that you do that and bring it back to their remembrance and remind them again. A lot of times people are not trying to be malicious. They've just learned ways that get them what they want. Okay. And they haven't had the chance to unlearn those negative behaviors. And sometimes you have to help. And so a way to do that is you remaining calm, you remaining focused, and you stating the focus goal. Okay. And I would do that and make sure that they understand it and can state it plainly. Hopefully that helps. Someone asked right now, and I wanted to go back to this one. And Ashley D, I'm coming back to yours because that's an important question. Angel Boyd asks, I have gotten into a funk with this whole quarantine. Any suggestions of breaking out that funk? One thing that I try to not tell people to do, but suggest that they do, is to try to get back involved in things that excite you, even at home. Like if there's something that you wanted to do, a new hobby you wanted to try, something else you wanted to get into, if there's self-care that you need to be doing more of, find things that engage your time, but also make you feel like you're being productive. A lot of times we get into a funk because we don't feel productive. It's the same thing for depression, is that you need to break out of that by doing things you normally do. And I know we can't get outside the house, but there's things in the house you normally do. Keeping a schedule, know what time you get up and go to bed, know what things you want to accomplish and goals you want to do. If you have an extracurricular activity, try doing that and accomplishing something, making a to-do list and being able to check off things that you've done. It makes you feel accomplished, it makes you feel productive, and it also adds back to how you feel about yourself, which can lift that funk. Hopefully that helps. Ashley D, I wanted to respond to this. What are some examples of repercussions for violating a boundary? I think that's an excellent question, honey. Yes. I think some of the repercussions are, first off, let's be clear here. It depends on whether or not you can leave that place after all of this is gone. I'm not saying gone because it's not going to be gone completely. Let's be honest. But after it's more safe for you to move around, are you able to get out of that situation? Maybe that's a repercussion. Another thing is removing some of the things that have been reinforcing their behavior. So if you are, let's say you're a mother and you're paying a teen's a phone bill, it might be time for that phone to be cut off if they talking to you crazy, okay? Because you pay the phone bill. It's time to let that phone bill go. Same thing as if you're in a relationship and you're not, you've asked that certain things be done or completed or given, and you're supposed to hold up your end of the bargain. You make it clear, I'm not going to continue to do what I have said that I would do. I know I should see it through, but I'm not going to continue to do that if I'm not receiving the proper support on this other end. I'm not going to continue to do that. And so you have to find little ways that work to your unique situation. But those are the types of examples that I'm looking at. It might not seem like a whole repercussion to you. A repercussion doesn't have to be like hitting somebody over the head or whooping them or doing stuff like that. It can be little things that they cherish that are taking away from them because of their behavior as a repercussion or as a result of or consequence of their behavior. Hopefully that makes sense. Somebody said, what if you love or in love with someone you don't love anymore? I think I'm saying that correctly here. I picked this one because I haven't really talked about the dating piece, but is it because of being quarantined with them that you don't love them no more? And I'm not laughing about that, but I'm saying sometimes being around people 24/7 with no relief can cause you to feel like you just don't even like that person anymore. But what it is there's just been an imbalance in being able to be alone. So make sure that you're able to separate whether or not is that you've fallen out of love with them, or if it is that this quarantine of being around them all the time has made you crazy with being in that situation. But if that's really the case, because I don't want to argue your feelings, that may be exactly right. You might not be in love with that person anymore. I would be probably making plans for what's to come after this. If you live with them, if you're around them all the time, but I would also keep in mind that we're in a pandemic. And whatever you want to do, you need to make sure that you can actually execute the plan. So if that's moving, you need to check and find out if you're able to actually move without their help, without them doing anything in the situation. You need to make sure that you properly prepare them for that. And what I mean is you need to have a plan and you need to tell them what that plan is and stick with it. That's it. And if you fear for your safety, make sure, go back in this video. I did give a hotline to call because you should never feel unsafe. You want to make sure that you're safe before you make any trigger pulling situations or consequences to yourself. You are valuable and you want to treat yourself as such. So in that situation, be smart. Don't anger the person. Try to make sure that you can get out of the situation safely and get yourself to somewhere else. Hopefully that helps there. I'm going to take, 2 more questions. And I just saw one pop up. Oh, I am not married. Okay. So I hate telling people what I would do because I love love. And one of my things is preserving love. I plan to be married in the near future. However, what I would say is, if you're married and you're in a toxic relationship, I would really be thinking about if it's not going to change, and you've heard all the things I've said and you've addressed those things and it's not changing, I would really be thinking about what's next. What am I going to do after I am able to make some moves? I'm never going to tell you to leave anyone because I don't know your unique situation. I don't know what that's about. And I also don't want to lead you astray. But what I'm saying is think clearly about your situation. Are you wanting to leave this situation, or are you needing to really just kind of fix this situation? Do you need to seek the help of a mental health professional? Do you need to seek the help of your doctor? Do you need to seek the help of those that can really help to give you good and solid information on this situation before letting it go, right? Because sometimes relationships are not just doomed to be toxic, but we have to work on them daily to help them be non-toxic, if that makes sense. And so we have to put in the work. And I believe down below, I have some links for you guys on how to contact a good therapist or find someone that can help you in your various areas, because you can look them up by state. Hopefully that helps. And there's a lot of people here I see that are talking about being out of toxic marriages. Look at that. There's people here that have gone through a lot of these things. So what I would say is think very carefully. Think very carefully about whether or not it can be fixed or if it cannot. And I'm also a spiritual person. I do believe in prayer. I do believe in prayer. I do believe in reverencing God. I do believe in having your not so much religious, but spiritual connection, and making sure that you're reverencing what you should and your convictions. And I know I was taught from a child, not that, divorce was wrong and all of that. But however, my mother also schooled me on when divorce is right. And if a person ain't willing to change and you are being hurt emotionally, physically, and they refuse to change, you must leave. And that's something that I've held tight to. You're not going to hold me down by saying that the Bible said don't get divorced. There were certain situations. Okay. So be very clear on that. And also now know why and how, and be clear on how you will get away from this situation. Okay. Carefully, and also being kind to yourself. And thank you so much for that, Jay Lewis. Hopefully if I've answered a lot of questions. Okay. Y'all make it hard. I'm going to take one more question because I saw one here. Kabibi Shaw says, what would you recommend if the toxic people are your parents? Now, if they're my parents, I think all of us have a little bit of toxicity to ourselves. Let me say that too. All of us, I'm a little spoiled. Okay, I can say that, but there's a difference in being spoiled and being toxic too, completely ruined. But if it's your parents, I know that there's a love there for your parents. There's a respect there for your parents, and you want to reverence that. I would say that it's still okay to build boundaries with them. Tell them that you are an individual and a human being, and while you are their child, you still expect for them to respect you as you respect them. And you will not be taking emotional or physical harm or abuse to your person just because they are your parents. You love them and you want the best for them, but they should love you and want the best for you. They can't mistreat you just because you're their child. Okay. Sometimes it takes stating that so that your parents also understand where you're coming from. Also, it takes establishing that you are a person with your own life. And while you want them to flourish and do well, they should also want the same in reverse for you. So I think also having that serious conversation with them, and avoid doing these conversations, all of y'all, avoid these conversations when it's hot and heated. Do it when the time is just kind of simmering and before it gets to that point. I would talk to them about these situations at a time where you're not arguing, where you're not fussing, and bring it as a serious concern. Usually people, even if they're toxic, when they have nothing else to argue about, when it's not in the sense of an argument or the case of an argument, they're able to hear you better. So maybe going to them when the time is kind of quiet and addressing specific things. And if you know that you'll get all over the place, write your points down and come in with a notebook. I've had to do it. Do it. Okay. Hopefully that helps you all. Hopefully that helps. But thank you so much, guys. You guys asked some wonderful questions. We've had a good night. Before you go, because I know y'all love to just sign off. Wait just a second for you, girl. Okay. Before you go, make sure that you sign up for my free 8-day supernatural video program. It is absolutely free. And I hold on just a second, guys. Let me make sure I get this off here. Make sure that you sign up. It's absolutely free, 100% free. I love to make sure that you all get freebies, but it's a free 8-day empowerment video course, and it comes to you day after day. It's a link down in my information section, and it gives you so much information, things to work on daily. If you're in that funk, this is going to help you. Okay. So make sure that you do that. It's going to help you. And it also adds you to my email list, which gives you access to other wonderful and exclusive things. Another thing to look out for, guys, is in May, the monthly membership is coming. Not May 1st. It's probably going to be mid-May to late May. But guys, it's already going to be opening up with 6 video courses as well as worksheets and lots of other things. Many of you all have been writing me about one-on-one coaching. I will be taking on 3 one-on-one students for coaching. So that will also be on top of, in addition to this membership. So make sure that you write me at hi@drninaellishervey.com if you're interested in the one-on-one coaching. But this mentorship membership will be for all to sign up. You need to be a part of my email list so that you can get all the information, the pricing, all of that. But I guarantee you guys will not be disappointed. You enjoy my free lives. Imagine what it is for something paid for you. Hopefully y'all can hear me. But I'm going to make sure I go the best on everything that you all need. So make sure that you check that out. But thank you so much for being here, guys. Make sure you click like, share this. And we will be back next week. We're going to do another one next week. So if you're interested in sending in a topic, write me at hi@drninaellishervey.com. Also, watch my community walls over on YouTube so that you're able to add into the conversation. So I know what you want to see because I do polls and everything over there. And follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, at BeautifulBrwnBabyDol, y'all. Thank you so much. I'm signing out now. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. Peace.